Hello there, lovely ladies. I'm finally on. I've survived Storm Dennis. It's been hitting the UK and it's been very loud and very noisy. So it's all gone now, nice and quiet. So I thought I would get this tutorial out there as promised. So that's just something I made a while back, and I thought I would do a rustic box, but I've decided against that, and I'm just going to do a plain ordinary box. So I will be using just a normal pair of scissors, a normal household brush, and some Mod Podge, and a little bit of rice paper with a very sweet little bunny on Benjamin Bunny on the front. The box has actually been painted with a white chalk paint. Chalk paint isn't fantastic for using a hot steam iron, as I'll show you. People say you're not supposed to use a hot steam iron, but I do, and it always turns out really well. But I won't be using chalk paint again for this method. I prefer acrylic or even household paint if you've got some white household paint. So as you can see, I've put quite a generous blob of Mod Podge, I just love Mod Podge, onto the box. And chalk paint is very absorbent, so that's already working its way into the paint. You've got to make sure there's no little bits of rubbish in your Mod Podge, because you've got to keep it very clean. So your box has got to be bit free, if you understand what I'm saying. No little blobs, just nice and clean. So just pop it on there like that, and then I'm going to put some, what you call in England, some greaseproof paper or parchment paper, cookie paper, and that's a very hot iron I've got on there. Now I can actually hear that sizzling, so I like whatever I put on my boxes, I like it to stay there for 100 years basically. I like it to stay there permanently. So by using a very hot iron, the way I do this, it really stays on there, and it doesn't chip, it doesn't move, and it's just perfect. And then I get my whatever I'm wearing, usually a cotton top when I craft, and I just go over it nice and gently just to make sure, and it's lovely and warm underneath your hand as well, which I love that sensation. The whole thing is supposed to be very pleasurable for you. It's not supposed to be a chore. So when I do that, I like to feel the warmth and know that it's really sticking well to that box. So you've got to leave it a bit as well. So I was going to use that napkin there, but I'm going to put that onto some glass later and iron that on and show you. So that should be interesting. So I'm leaving that just for a couple of minutes just to let that dry a little. Cool down, basically. Well, that's cooling down. I'll just tell you about these napkins. I bought them from eBay UK, and that's where I buy all my napkins from. So I did find some very pretty ones on there, including these. And you get 4 of these, and I've decided to use the Benjamin one. Benjamin Bunny. Look how lovely that's turning out. So as I pull away, nothing's coming off at all. It's almost cool to the touch. I would say it was lukewarm at this point, and I put even more Mod Podge on. See how that napkin isn't going anywhere? And the reason it isn't is because I actually use steam. I'm voiceovering this, but I did use the steam iron, and it's worked great. So it's just had a good ironing, basically, on a very high heat with a normal household iron, and I did use steam. And now I'm going to get on to putting the side bits on from another little bunny rabbit napkin that I have, which is really cute. Okay, I've cut out some pieces from the other napkin because it has these lovely stripes. I think we all love stripes and spots, don't we? They're very cozy. So I like to leave a little bit of the edge sticking out, because when I steam iron it, what's going to happen is it's going to make the edge crispy, and I can just easily cut that away. So I've put that piece on there. So we have a lovely piece from the other napkin on the side of our box, because the front of the box is very important. So there's just a little bit more Mod Podge going under there, and I'm going to smooth it with my fingers. I'm not using any kind of wrap to do this. I just use my fingers, pop on the, greaseproof paper, and you can see the steam coming out of the side of that iron. Yep, and I've just pressed the steam button, and it's all nice and warm and lovely, and it's really getting that glue into all the porous. I mean, this is a very porous medium now, isn't it? We've got the paper is very porous, and the box lid is very porous because it's wood. And then we have the paint, which of course was chalk paint that I used. And I've just left it there for a second, so you can see that it's not going to be a problem at all. Plenty of steam, plenty of heat. And on a cold day like this, it's a very pleasurable thing to do. Okay, I'm just going to rub it with my crafting top. I like to wear my really comfortable clothes when I'm crafting, and so I'm going to give that a good rub and make sure that it's nice and pressed down with all the heat and the steam. And this is one of the bits that I just absolutely love doing. And it's so warm under your hand, and it's just a very lovely thing to do. So we've got our Benjamin bunny, who is really stuck to that box top, and we've got the sides that we chose from the other napkin, and they're nice and stuck down. You're seeing me doing a lot of ironing here with this, because it is super important that the glue is completely crispy dry underneath when you take off your greaseproof paper, because if you don't iron it really well, it will stick to the image and it will remove the image, especially using the chalk paint. Okay, if you've been very brave and waited for it to cool down and removed your greaseproof paper, this is the image that you will see. No bubbles, very well adhered to that box top, and that's exactly what we wanted. A little close-up for you there. So all the flowers have stayed colourful, the bunny looks great, and that's not going to come off at all. No matter what you do, that's not going to come off. So I just went ahead and put some more napkins on the top of the box, and I completed the box. So you can see it here, and the top bit is really lovely because of the steam and the iron, and the side bits I used exactly the same method with the iron, a nice hot steam iron. So I don't like the green so much, it's very bright on the screen there, so I may tone that down somewhat. And the box is lovely, and I haven't quite finished it yet, so there will be a little bit more work to do on the box, but it certainly is a smooth, lovely surface with all the colours, and everything has worked well using the steam iron. Next, I'm going to show you how I ironed these images onto some glass jars. So I hope you will join me for part 2 on steam ironing and decoupage. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing my methods that I use. Everybody is different. Bye for now. Much love.